Hello, everyone, and welcome to Conversations with Gofane. I'm Gofane Modise, and this is the leadership series with Botswana Insurance Company. I'm joined today by, forgive me, Mr. Newton Jazire. Or you can call him NJ if you've been following the show. And today we're just
comfortable with both.
I'm comfortable with both, which is great. And we're continuing the conversation on technology and innovation and how you can leverage the both for growth. And this past episode, you talked about why it's such an important thing and so on. But let's talk about the technologies and innovative methods that you brought to BIC, whether through the Junior Exco and so on. So what are the key things that you say, you know what, we as BIC are very proud of this and we own it?
So yes, some of the technologies we've put in place at BIC to, sort of like walk this journey with the whole team is, your artificial intelligence around the claims. We have a claim AI that we use. So, so what the claims AI does is that it receives your claim, it acknowledges it, it sends messages to the customers, it actually asks for documents that are sort of like missing. It sends the claim to the next stage. If there's an assessor, for example, in a motor claim, there's an assessor that's required. It actually, appoints an assessor, and the person is just, there to make sure that what we expect from the claims body is what is happening. And the whole process of those simple claims, especially the motor claims, the windscreen claims, are by nature huge volumes. So the board is sort of like helping with reducing the volumes per individual claims processor. Also, in terms of our assessments and our assessors that go out to look at vehicles that have been damaged and stuff, we also introduce a technology where they are able to assess the vehicles on the spot. We used to have a situation where they walk around with forms, fill in, draw the sketches about the damages to the cars, which was quite cumbersome and a lot of work. Then they come to the office and try to translate this into, soft reports and then send it to the claims team. That was a lot of time. So now what we have with the orthopeds is they do the as they are doing the assessments, they're actually putting information on their on their pads, and as soon as they're under Wi-Fi in the offices, the reports are distributed to the claims people. So it has cut the process quite significantly. Part of the other technology that we have also introduced is, of course, the RBOE system that I spoke to. It's a system that enables our customers to speak to us because, as you know, RBOE is let's speak. So basically what it does is that it enables customers to log into our RBOE system, put in their complaint, and we get a dashboard of how many complaints in claims, how many complaints in underwriting, how many claims in any other service areas of our business. So that enables management to give timely responses to whatever issues might be out there for our customers. WhatsApp for Business has also enabled our customers to buy, to speak to us and buy our insurance policies via the WhatsApp platform. Most importantly for us is the portals that we have created. So we used to be inundated with a lot of calls by customers wanting to know when do their policies renew, what premiums are they expected to pay, etc. So now, with what we have with the customer portals and the intermediary portals, it means that the broker or agent representing the client can actually go onto the portal, have a view. They can't amend anything, but they can have a view of their own screen. When is it renewing? What premiums are there, etc. Without the ability to change anything. So it's a view only sort of like access to their policies. Then when it comes to intermediaries, there are some intermediaries that have been given a little bit more mandate than just viewing. So those mandates will include things like lodging a claim, inputting a policy through the portal. So it goes through the portal straight to our core system, so it doesn't need to go through a lot of processes or hand-delivered mail and stuff. So you'll find that if anyone sends us physical mail, we don't like it, but sometimes we have no choice. So we immediately scan and everything gets automated again. So we do not really sort of like entertain any paperwork, except for now, the only area that we have not been able to automate is if there are any court documents. As you know,
Yeah.
of course, they accept electronic documents. There are some documents that they want in original form. And that's an area that, of course, we're still having to print and sign the affidavits and stuff. But otherwise, a whole lot of our business has been automated. The office has gone paperless. We don't use any papers in our office. So that is sort of like, taken us ahead of competition in terms of the innovations that we brought into the business.
Something that someone has to appreciate about this organization, BIC, to be specific, is that the solutions, the digital solutions, are so specially curated to solve specific problems or even just enhance services. So if you were like our neighboring countries where load shedding was a problem, then I would imagine our solutions would be different. So what are the technological challenges or challenges regarding digital solutions or technologies that you've incurred while implementing solutions that you were putting up?
Yeah, so, so when we implementing some of these digital solutions, some of the challenges we face are to do with the regulations that are in place, the compliance that we need to do around data protection, making sure that your customer information is not exposed, and that your systems are safe and not vulnerable to cyber attacks and stuff, because then you will have your customer information all over the place. And all sorts of suits coming your way because wrong information has been shared with the wrong parties. So, so some of the challenges really have been to do with the compliance, been to do with making sure that the data that we have, the data integrity, what it's producing is what we expect. So you find that in some instances we'll be doing what we call parallel run, where you're still running your manual process, but also running the automated process to just check if the two are producing the same results. Then you have the confidence that what you are doing is got the integrity and whatever you expect from it. But on the softer side, of course, when people are used to doing things in a certain way, it's not a plug and play situation. You'll find that even with the bot that does a lot of claims for us and stuff, you'll find some people trying now to still do the claims the same way we were doing previously. And then you have to then put mechanisms in place to say, I want to know, from a management perspective, I want to have a report that shows me why some claims are being done outside the bot that we have created. And yeah, so I would call it a little bit of resistance, not active resistance in that I don't want to do it, but basically people defaulting to what they're used to, and then you have to sort of like take them through some kind of change management to understand that we are moving into different platforms where the other platform is no longer acceptable and also not in line with what our customers are expecting. So it's really some of those challenges that we're facing that when you bring in technology, there are new risks that emerge with digitalization. Your systems can be attacked. You have seen some government departments here being attacked by these cyber guys and losing a lot of information, and their systems being frozen until someone is paid and stuff like that, like ransom and stuff. So it's really fortunate that we have not experienced that, because we try and make sure that every time we're implementing a new system, the tests, what we call the penetration tests, are done to make sure that people can access our system. So we actually hire people that do breaking into people's systems.
Really?
So that, yes, so that as consultants, of course, but not as our permanent employee, but to test our systems to see how strong they are. If they're successful, then we know that we are not yet there, so we need to improve their security. So that has been helpful quite a bit in terms of the cyber risks that come with this.
Right.
Yeah.
And then how were you able to just harness a work culture or just an environment for innovation and creative thinking? I know that in one of our episodes you mentioned that you should say you said it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's guided mistakes.
Yes.
So you put it, yes.
Yes.
So how did you kind of implement that?
Yeah, so it's more like I wouldn't call it a carrot and stick situation. It's more of carrot because it's we put some rewards in place to say, guys, if you come up with great ideas, how we change a certain situation, and there's visible sort of like value add from your concept, and we adopt it, I would like to appreciate you and put some kind of reward. Of course, I'm not going to share what reward that we have been giving, but we obviously have been appreciating our teams and giving them rewards for those that have come up with very innovative ideas. But on the softer side, like you have highlighted in our previous conversation, the issue is for people to be innovative, they need to be in an environment where they feel that it's possible to make a mistake, even if I'm focusing on addressing client issues. But we have a sort of like a way to check that whatever you were doing was in the best interest of the customer, not yourself.
Yes.
And as long as it was in the best interest of the customer, this is what we want to see. So we believe that the learning also comes from, it's just mistakes are a step to, to success. So we believe that if we create that environment, we'll get more from our people. There's a lot of, surprises that we got from our teams. When you interact with someone and they just say, morning CEO or whatever, or morning angel, you don't quite get who these people are actually.
Yeah.
It's only when you give them the opportunity to express themselves, you realize, even this part of my board report that I was struggling with, why am I struggling with it?
When you had that brilliant mind.
So it's that quality that's there and resident in your team, that if you don't create an environment, you will not be able to exploit, because you're not giving people the opportunity to show you that they can do these things. And I always say that when I arrived here from Uganda, I'd been in Botswana before, and the comments were always that, no, there are no skills, blah, blah. So I said, but I can't go away for 7 years and still find no skills. It just doesn't make sense to me, because after 7 years, something should have happened. So this is part of the process that then I went through to change the leadership team at BIC. If you look at the number of expatriates we had at the time I started, we were about 8, and now I think we're just talking 2, including myself, 3. So that to me is a significant change, and giving the opportunity and ownership to the people that I believe have got the interest in whatever is developing at BIC for a long term, because they are Botswana.
Yes.
You know what I mean. So I think it's really about how do you create an environment where you show empathy, where you show that innovation and flexibility, agility, moving with the times is encouraged, and that's what we've been able to do as the leadership at BIC.
And then when you assess BIC with the globe, worldwide, how would you say you've positioned yourself with these technological advancements? Would you say that you're positioned now to compete globally?
Yeah, I think it's like you have been in one of our meetings, because I always tell my team that I don't want you to compare yourself with the local competition. I want you to say, in the insurance industry, where do we stand? Part of the reason why we have a BA2 credit rating by Moody's, no one else has a global rating in this country, because they believe in some local or South African rating that they're using. But we're using global rating because we want to play in that stage. We want to play in that level where we are comparing ourselves to the global players, not just Botswana. And we know, I always tell my team that we know that when we compete at global stage, when we come back home, we are already a step ahead.
Right.
And that's really the idea, and that is the perspective that we have tried to share with the whole team. Yeah.
And when you, because of your foresighted nature, when you kind of assess the insurance industry and technology, what do you think, what new emerging technologies do you foresee coming up in the future?
Well, it's quite a tricky question, but what I see is that even in the future, we might have, even where we go in the malls and stuff, might end up having, being serviced by bots and not by people. payments and whatever, I can do them from any place, but not talking to any banker and stuff like that. So I think where we are going, I'm not sure whether it's good or bad for us, but I think we're going to be talking to more virtual people than the actual people. But the great thing about service industry like ours is that the human touch will still be required.
Absolutely.
For people to trust that when there's a claim, my claim will be paid by Botswana Insurance Company. They want to talk to someone at some point and be sure that I'm not putting my premium in a bin or some, you know, some pyramid scheme or something. So I think it's the technologies I'm seeing, if they continue this trend, we're going to have a situation where it's very difficult for you to have any privacy, for example. People will know almost everything about you just by click of a button. I'll give you an example of blockchain technology. If it's if it's successful in the insurance industry, the way it's being sort of like implemented is such that all our KYC issues that we cry about, knowing someone, contracting with any parties and etc., the efficiencies it will bring to our insurance programs, claims management, underwriting management will just be so, you know, so efficient that no one would want to go back to the old way of doing things. But whether this will really come to fruition in our territories, I'm not yet 100% sure, but I think technology is coming and people should be ready for disruption.
Technology is coming and people should be ready for disruption. Absolutely brilliant. I will say throughout the series so far, I used to think that the insurance industry was a bit boring and the people were a bit dull because of the things that you do with. But I'm so excited and you've brought so much light and insights to so many aspects regarding technology, and obviously coming from an African as well, it's also very exciting.
I'm glad I brought some light.
You brought some light. It's a very exciting industry, and I'm also very excited about the future generation as well. Like you said, we're skilled and we're capable.
100%. Absolutely. I think there's a great pool of talent in Botswana, and people should be excited.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time.